This is an. Today is Monday, September 20th, 11:44 p.m. This is an experiment episode 23. It's been a whopping 5 days since I've done an episode of This Is an Experiment. Not really an episode, more of an installment, I guess. Um, I officially started my book. Yay. I officially started my book today. What is my book? My book is Master Your Mirror. I thought about this for a long time. What do I want my first book to be? I always said first book, not what do I want my book to be about. What do I want my first book to be about? Cause I like saying that way. Because I mean, it's like once you write one book, that like the first book's the hardest, right? I mean, I haven't finished writing a book yet, but I would imagine that that's true. Like anything else, the first one's the hardest one, and everyone after that makes more sense and it's easier to do because you've done it before. Um, but saying that it's my first book, it does something to take off a little bit of pressure in a certain regard because it's like this is my book. This is like the one chance that I have to get it right. Um, I got like everything's got to be in there and it's got to be. It's like no, there's gonna be another one. There will be. It's not like this. This isn't gonna be like my first and only book. There's bound to be more. Um, what they'll be about and how they'll be shaped and all that, who knows? But there's gonna be more than one. Or at least that's what I like to tell myself or at least rather that there's the possibility that there could be more. It's like, why limit myself to this is my book? It's like, this is one of many books that could be written. Um, and I remember it's like, when I was first started playing with the idea, I was like, cause it's like most people, it's like, I'd love to write a book. But it's like, what do I want to write about? Well, the first question is, why do you even want to write a book? And I kind of like, I was like, well, maybe I just, because, when it comes to writing a book in the realm of personal development, I mean, what can you say that hasn't been said already? And ultimately, just, come to grips with the fact that everybody's basically saying the same shit. They're just saying it a different way. So maybe the way that I say it will break through to somebody that didn't get it when it was said any other way. So there's that. Um, but yeah, I thought maybe do I just write about my experiences and what I learned from them, or do I try to just do a book that's a whole bunch of tools that help people, and or do I want to try to write a book that helps people solve a problem and all of that stuff. And in the month of August, I really started hashing out this program that I entitled Master Your Mirror because it's basically the essence of everything that I do. Um, and I put it all together and packaged it up real nice, launched it off into the universe, and nobody wanted to buy it. No one wanted to buy it. Nobody wanted to buy my program, my coaching program. So, what did I decide to do? Let's take that whole thing and repackage it as a book. I already got it. Like it's like fresh in mind. I've been hammering at this for the last month, and this is just like the natural next step. And I decided originally, the original audience for the book was going to be like entrepreneurs that have done personal development stuff and they're ready to take it to the next level and and really start to do more deep work on themselves with themselves, outside of hiring a coach or anything like that. Not to say there's anything wrong with that. Like, I fully believe in coaching, fully believe in it. And the thing is if you don't have access to someone in those in between times, knowing what to do yourself really can make a difference. So that was the original target demographic, was entrepreneurs or like business owners or executives or whatever, as something they could do to kind of take their mindset work to the next level or whatever. And then I got a vision. I got a huge download, and I just like nixed all of that, because I mean the whole thing was like, let me write a book for entrepreneurs so I can make them coaching clients or whatever. And I said, well, I didn't come up with this. This was given to me by the powers that be above, God. Fully, like, I fully believe that this was bump my chest. This was something that was given to me by God. The vision, it's a blessing from above. And I remember when it happened, I I was just really in a spot last week, and I was like, I just need some weed. I just need some weed. And I rolled up. It's really funny. I was like, I'm gonna smoke a big huge blunt. I'm gonna smoke a big fatty. And I took like, and I rolled up a nice blunt because I'm really good at rolling blunts. It's almost disgusting how good I am at it. And I took one hit off it. I started like hacking a lung up. So I went and I sat on the couch and pulled up Austin Powers. And I was watching it, and I was like giggly pants like all the way because I haven't smoked weed in like probably months. I don't know. I don't know the last time I smoked actual weed and got high. It's been it's been a while. I had like Delta 8, but that's not the same thing at all. Anyway, and I was sitting there on on the couch, giggly ass, high as a kite, watching Austin Powers, and it was maybe like 10 minutes into the movie, and I had this thought of, you know, there's those moments in life where you really have to kind of look at what's happening and what's going on, and what you're creating for yourself. For whatever reason, that is the thought that I started thinking about. I remember I was sitting there all giggly ass, laughing my butt off at some stupid shit on Austin Powers while I was high. And I remember it was like in that moment, I almost like stepped outside of myself, and I saw myself sitting there, high as a kite, giggling my ass off at Austin Powers. And, and I remember asking myself, do you see it now? Do you see it? Do you see what you're doing? Um, and what I was referring to in myself is sabotage. You know what? It's all falling apart. I'm just gonna get high and watch a movie and fuck off and pretend like blah what I don't know. I don't know where I was going. Because what had happened is in that moment when I said, "Do you see it now?" And I was like, "Yeah, I see it." And I thought to myself, you know, there's there's those decisions, those moments that come up where you decide, what are you gonna do? What are you creating? And I thought, and in that moment, I was like, I asked myself, What's more important right now? Watching Austin Powers while I'm high or writing my book? Obviously, the answer is writing my book. Obviously. If it wasn't obvious before, it should be now. Um, and I remember sitting there. I even like paused the movie so I could think about it. Maybe I didn't pause it. I don't know. I think I did pause it. Doesn't matter. And I was going back and I was like, well, yeah, writing the book is more important, but like, I don't know how much I'm going to be able to write because I'm fucking high as shit. Like, I don't know how effective I'll be at writing, so I might as well just do this and until I am not high anymore, and then I can go write on it, go and write or whatever, and work on the book. And I said, you know what? This isn't about this isn't about am I about to, write some great passage for my book. This moment isn't about writing the book. This moment is about deciding what's truly important to me. And what I decided was truly important to me was writing the book. That was the most important thing. And so I left off Austin Powers on pause, and I took my giggly ass high self to my office here. Um, and I started writing. I didn't make it very far because I remember I sat down, I started writing, and I just got this huge like hit of like energy. I was just like I don't know how else to explain it other than it felt like I'd literally just gotten a download of like energy. Like it was just I felt like myself vibrating, like my body vibrating, like I don't know how to explain it. It was weird. It was one of those weird metaphysical things. It was a I dare I say spiritual experience. Um, and because what had happened, well, let's see. No, so before that happened, I came into my office to work on the book, and I was thinking about who I was writing it for and what was going to happen and what I'd been kind of working on. And what I'd kind of realized too is that I've I've been looking all in this direction over here about being a coach and landing coaching clients. I've been doing that for so long that I forgot about over here. When I first started, what I really wanted to do is be a public speaker. That was the thing. That's where everything started with. I wanted to inspire people. I wanted to be a public speaker. I wanted to go to places and talk to people, and give them hope for a brighter future. And then COVID happened, and so events shut down. Not that I was thinking about this before COVID happened. It was kind of one of those lofty things, but because of COVID, I um I was like, well, I can start working on some stuff, and I kind of like started doing like videos for social media and all of that. And then I kind of got sucked into this whole coaching sphere uh, with internet marketers and just like all that kind of stuff. And then that night, what I'd kind of realized is that I've been chasing something that wasn't a part of the vision that I'd originally had. The big thing that I'd really wanted to do wasn't coach people. I wanted to be a public speaker. That's what I really wanted to do. And I forgot about that. because I got so drawn in to this stuff over here that I forgot about this stuff over here. And I'm looking over in this direction. I'm like, doing all of these things. Why is it not working? Because my vision is in that direction. And when I realized that, when I had that moment, I wish I could remember what led to me having that moment. Maybe, I don't know. Let's see, when did that moment happen? Because maybe I did do it. Well, let's see, the 15th, I think, was... Maybe I did. Maybe that was the last episode. No, I don't think I did. I don't know. Maybe that was the last episode I actually did talk about this. I wouldn't remember because it was 5 days ago. Um, but yeah, I remembered that part of my vision of what I really wanted to do was be a public speaker. And who did I really want to help was kids. Give two shits less about Joe Blow entrepreneur that makes 8 figures. I don't give a fuck about them, honestly. I mean, I'd love to serve them. Don't get me wrong. Maybe I just alienated an entire, group of people. I mean, I got nothing wrong with them. But honestly, like, the kids need it. And I mean, yes, would I love to coach an 8-figure business owner? That'd be really cool. Love to do that probably at some point. But if I had to, so it's not that I don't care about 8-figure business owners and coaching them. I guess what I'm really getting at is, if I was to weigh, this is a tool that I can always go back to. If I weigh the amount of satisfaction that I would get from coaching an 8-figure entrepreneur against the satisfaction that I would get helping an adolescent grow into a stronger adulthood, like the adolescent, helping them grow into a better version of themselves as an adult, like, they need that. I needed it when I was that age. All of, there was stuff around. I'm sure, all these books have been around forever. I didn't know about any of them. No one even told me about this stuff. It wasn't something that was talked about in college campuses or whatever. I don't know. But yeah, I ended up deciding that I'm writing the book that I wish I could have read 15 years ago. That's the book that I'm writing. The book that I wish that I could have read. The book that if I would have read it, things might have been different. Yeah. When I say it like that, it hits a little different. The book that I wish I would have read. The book that if I had read, things would have been a little different. And as I say that, I think about how many books are out there that I could have read. But I didn't know to read them or even go look for them, or what my problems were, or that they were solvable problems. I don't know. What would I have... I think, as I ponder this, I think, well, what stopped me from seeking answers? And the truth is, I did seek answers, but I was looking in the wrong direction. When I was 16, I was diagnosed with depression, anxiety, ADHD. I was put on medication for it. There's something wrong with my brain, is what they said. There's a chemical imbalance in your brain. So we're going to give you medication that fixes that chemical imbalance, and things will get better for you. Okay. The caveat that I always have with that now is, why do I have to take medication to fix those chemical imbalances? Is there nothing else that I can do outside of medication? But no, just straight to medication. Straight to medication. And so for me, the answers were psychiatric. I didn't stop looking. I was looking for answers, but I wasn't looking for personal development. I was looking for a diagnosis or a disorder, something that I could point a finger to and say, this is it, this is what's wrong with me. And the more I did that, the more I started to realize how much it didn't matter. Looking up, like, I wouldn't say I became obsessed with the DSM, but looking up diagnostic criteria for various mental illnesses and personality disorders and behavior disorder, like all that. Did a lot of shit that I looked into. And I was looking for answers in psychiatry. Stuff that was out there to explain what was going on in here. Because hopefully, I mean, I don't think I really had any sort of process going through this, but I think it was just like, well, maybe if I figure out what it is that's wrong with me, then I'll have a better idea of what to do about it. And so to know what's wrong with me, I have to have a diagnosis. Because that's what I learned. And when I was growing up, what I learned is that to know how to treat a problem, you have to diagnose what it is. Okay, we know how to treat you because you have depression. We diagnose you with depression. We know how to treat depression. We're going to give you this treatment. We diagnose you with anxiety. We use this to treat anxiety. We will give you this treatment. Cool. Well, maybe if I figure out what the most accurate diagnosis is for what's wrong with me, and we'll be able to figure out the best way to treat it. The problem, the real problem, what was wrong with me was that I'd become a victim to my mental illness. I became a victim to my mental illness. I became a victim. And I embraced my victimization. And there's periods where I did look for answers. There's periods where I gave up on looking for answers. There's periods where I was just self-destructing in hopes that maybe I might die on accident, even though that never happened. And now I'm about to write a fucking book about personal development. Who the fuck am I to do that? When I think about it, like, objectively speaking, who the fuck am I to write a book about personal development? Look, it. I'm about to turn 34 in a couple months. I remember when I turned 30. It was on the tail end of my first summer in Nashville when I lost a job from drinking too much. I went on a more than a handful of benders and like drugs and just like smoking all the time. Like, it was like sex, drugs, and alcohol, basically. Not so much sex, but drugs and alcohol for sure. It was 4 years ago. December of 2017. Less than 4 years ago. I woke up on my boss's couch the next day after blacking out at the company holiday party. 4 years ago. 4 years ago. I've dropped out of college 5 times. And I'm about to write a book. Not about to write, I am fucking writing a book about personal development. Who the fuck am I to do that? I don't know. David Joseph Higdon, bitch, I guess. And I feel like that says something in and of itself. I have every reason to doubt myself in this pursuit. There's every reason for other people to doubt me. There's almost no credibility behind anything that I say other than my own personal life experience. But the truth is, I know that what I'm speaking is the truth. I think about there was something that there was some philosophical meme or something, and it was like ancient philosophers philosophizing, and it was like, sitting in a bathtub, like, I think, therefore I am. Like, and then like modern day philosophy is a big, huge, like, like essay or something citing all sorts of, logical arguments from, you know, all the philosophers or whatever, and based on, and it's that same kind of thing where we've been pulled into this system, the idea that certain things give you credibility, And without those, I'm not a credible source. But the truth is that back in the day, like, even, you know, even 60, 75 years ago, I was going to say 50 years ago, but that's like the 70s, which, I mean, it's still kind of like different time. But yeah, it's like, even if you didn't know anything, you could still do something. I mean, that's true today too. I mean, it's the glory of, free market. But I don't know. And it's like I not only have I dropped out of college multiple times, and I'm gonna wrap this up. Not only have I dropped out of college multiple times, not only has it only been a handful of years since I got my shit together, but I grew really fast over that time. Um, but I haven't really read many books either. Um, I haven't. I've read a handful of them that were good. That's it. I read Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. That was a really good book. Says everybody that's read it pretty much. um, and Mark Manson. I mean, he was a traveling blogger for years and years before he wrote that book. So he'd been writing for a long time about things in general. Me, not so much. No, I read that book. I read The Big Leap by Gay Hendricks. It's a great book. Um, Power versus Force, David Hawkins. Excellent book. Not so much about personal development in and of itself, but definitely a good look at the idea of levels of consciousness. Um, and what else did I read? The War of Art by Stephen Pressfield, also a good one. What else? I mean, those are the big ones that I can think of. I can't think of any other ones that I read that were really like. Because I haven't read many books. I don't read many books. Or at least I haven't finished many books that I've started reading. So, I mean, if we've got 4 books there and then I write a book, um, then 20% of the books, 20% of the personal development books I've read have been written by myself. You don't read books. How the fuck are you going to expect to write one? I can imagine someone saying that. Who the fuck are you to write a book? You don't even read them. Sure, someone saying that. Who the fuck are you to write a book? You need to graduate from college. I can see that one. Who the fuck are you to write a book? There's plenty of time for your life to fall apart again. I can see someone else saying that too. Who the fuck are you to write a book? You just got your life together and now you think you know everything. I can see all the people saying all of that stuff. And I don't care at all. Because I know that what's in this book is powerful. How do I know it's powerful? Because it got me from being on drug and alcohol binges for an entire summer to writing a book. Oh, in the course of 4 years, the thing that I'm writing a book about has gotten me from there to here, and it's going to continue to take me into great new wondrous territories as the future unfolds ahead of me. And that's why I believe so strongly in this book, is because this system, this process, this methodology, this master your mirror methodology, helped me overcome impossible odds. When everything was stacked against me, this is what helped me make it through. That's why I believe in it. All right. Today is it's after midnight. Tuesday, September 24th, 12:20 a.m. This is an experiment, episode 23. I don't know if I said 22 at the beginning, but it's episode 23 technically. Signing off. Catch you out. Blah.